Joining me now is comedian and host of Primetime with Alex Stein on Blaze TV, Alex Stein. Let's start with the Hunter Biden pardon. I'm not shocked, I've got to say, but the White House did assure Americans over and over again that this would not happen, that Joe Biden would not do this. And yet, in the final weeks of his disastrous presidency, he has done that. And remarkably, he has accused the Justice Department of conducting lawfare against Hunter Biden. I would argue precisely the opposite has happened. He has been protected and he could have been charged with far more serious offences.
You know, Rita, I could sit here and I could get upset, but just the fact that Jill Biden won that, she wore that red dress to go vote, and I think it's pretty obvious that the Biden family wanted Donald Trump to win, and Joe Biden put on the Trump hat because of that, because of the great inadvertent campaigning that he did for Donald Trump. I don't care that he pardons Hunter. You know, he wouldn't be a good dad if he didn't pardon him, and he's done a lot worse than pardoning his son, so you know, I'll let it slide as an American, Rita. It's just that's the way politics works.
It is, and don't forget the major free kick he gave the Republicans in the final weeks where he called all of Trump's voters garbage. Remember that? That didn't go down too well. But you know what? I don't think that was deliberate. I genuinely think he was just confused, as he often is, and he said something that he didn't know was going to do so much damage to Kamala. While we're on the Biden family, let's hear from Jill Biden, Dr. Jill, talking about the White House Christmas tree from the Blue Ridge Mountains that were devastated by Hurricane Helene.
The Cartner family lost thousands of trees in the storm, but this one remained standing, and they named it Tremendous, for the extraordinary hope that it represents.
The optics there are great, aren't they, Alex? This majestic tree survives the storm, and the White House have it cut down and brought to DC.
Well, you know, Rita, a lot of people here in America, they complain that we have spent billions of dollars on the Ukraine and Russia war. But I don't want to complain at all. We did give them $750 for that tree. We gave everybody in North Carolina $750. So I think that's fair and square. You know, so Jill Biden, you know, go girl, you go girl. You got that big tree. It's your last Christmas. Can't wait to see it never again. So I really don't mind, but it is sad what happened to the people in North Carolina right before the campaign, right before the election day, and nobody seemed to want to help them. And then the FEMA administrator said that they ignored people with Trump signs in front of their house. So it's absolutely disgusting, the disaster response. That's not a joke, but this whole presidency of Joe Biden has been a joke, so I'm not surprised.
Well, it will be the Biden family's last Christmas at the White House. We're going to have a new era. And we remember Melania's decorations at Christmas were standout. She has a very unique style. So we've got a lot to look forward to in 2025, Alex. On Donald Trump, he has made one of his most significant selections yet. This is one that a lot of people have been waiting for, praying for, and the president-elect has come through and selected Kash Patel as the next director of the FBI. Kash is an attorney. He's got experience in national security, intelligence, counterterrorism. He served as senior director for counterterrorism at the National Security Council. And I think the deep state are in a whole world of trouble.
And the biggest problem the FBI has come out of its intel shops. I'd break that component out of it. I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopening the next day as a museum of the deep state. And I'd take the 7,000 employees that work in that building and send them across America to chase down criminals. Go be cops. You're cops. Go be cops. Go chase down murderers and drug dealers and violent offenders. What do you need 7,000 people there for? Same thing with DOJ. What are all these people doing here? Looking for their next government promotion, looking for their next fancy government title, looking for their parachute out of government. So while you're bringing in the right people, you also have to shrink government.
Alex, what else can you tell me about Kash Patel, about this selection? I would imagine those who are on Jeffrey Epstein's client list would be rather nervous today.
Well, and we know Bill Clinton was on the Lolita Express about 26 times. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of very influential people that are very worried about Kash Patel getting in power and releasing the Epstein list, and as well as the Diddy list. But this is why Kash is so great, and I'm lucky to call him a friend, is that he's also going to help a lot of the January Sixers. You know, obviously some people, I guess you could say, did some bad stuff, but a lot of people were just there peacefully protesting. And I know Kash will be focused on correcting the weaponization of our Department of Justice against American patriots that really cared about our country.
Well, that January 6th issue is one that is something I think a lot of the mainstream media don't understand, and they don't understand why it's so significant for people who weren't there, who weren't protesting, but who absolutely loathe the two-tier justice system that they see at work, that the way BLM writers were forgiven, many of them not even charged, prosecuted, and yet people who were guilty of non-violent offences being behind bars, receiving lengthy jail terms. And a lot of Americans look at that and say, these people are political prisoners, Alex.
Well, you're exactly right. And I mean, if the punishment fit the crime, people wouldn't be so upset. But there's people that were just peacefully there that walked in the building are getting 10 to 15 years. Yet the Summer of Love, they burned down almost every auto zone in America and nobody got in trouble. And a federal courthouse in Portland was burnt multiple days in a row and the person only got a slap on the wrist. So people see the two-tier justice system, and Kash Patel, I think, is the person that can expose it for sure.
Now, soccer is becoming the latest sport, Alex, to have gone from taking the knee for BLM back in 2020 to celebrating goals with Trump's iconic MAGA dance. Here is a USA player, Christian Pulisic, and his teammates performing the dance during a game against Jamaica. Australian soccer star Noah Botic also celebrated using the Trump dance over the weekend when he scored his first goal of the match.
And this young side, they are plucky.
Alex, this cultural phenomenon, this shift is showing no signs of slowing down. People are becoming a lot bolder about doing a MAGA dance, about wearing a MAGA cap. They're sick of the left having so much control over the culture.
Well, especially in sports, in 2016, you didn't see any touchdown celebrations imitating Donald Trump, but now you see it on every soccer field, football field, it's basically everywhere you look. But when it comes to being cool, if you're liking Trump, it didn't used to be cool. Now it's cool to like Trump, and all the celebrities are finally hopping on board because they realize more than half the country likes Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is not a criminal. Donald Trump is not a Nazi. Donald Trump is not how the media describes him. And now it is culturally cool to dance, to do the Trump dance, and it feels good. It's an easy dance. Everybody can do it, even if you're, probably disabled. Disabled people can do it, and that's the best thing, is that Trump created a political and cultural movement that everybody can participate in.
Now, let's talk about the southern border. A 10-year-old boy has been found wandering the desert near the Texas border. Let's have a listen.
¿Qué pasó, mijo? ¿Qué traes? ¿Te dejaron solo? ¿Qué? ¿Viniste solo? ¿Qué tantos años tienes, mijo?
10.
10 años. ¿Y vienes solo? ¿Sí? ¿Y tu papá y tu mamá?
No, mi mamá no va a estar en Estados Unidos.
¿Están en los Estados Unidos?
It's just heartbreaking, Alex. It happens all the time. We're told this happens daily, multiple times every single day. Last week, there was footage of a toddler crossing the border unaccompanied that went viral.
Venezuela, mamá. ¿Venezuela? ¿Sí? ¿Qué tantos años tienes? ¿2 años? ¿No vienes con tu mamá y tu papá? ¿No?
Alex, this is the sickening reality on the southern border, but many Americans don't see that because the media have largely ignored it for 4 years. I'm sure that's going to change under the second Trump term.
Well, Rita, the saddest part about this, and you asked me to come on the show so we can joke and kind of tease the, lefties that are always losing it. But when it comes to our border crisis and you see the smuggling of humans, not only are these kids human cattle to these coyotes that smuggle them, they're also abused in all kinds of ways, in the most disgusting ways. And that's why they leave them. That's why the packs just leave them, not only just to fend for themselves, but maybe potentially they do die and then they don't have any ability to say what happened and about the abuse that they face. So it's a really disgusting thing. If you want to come to America, come on, just come here legally. Don't smuggle humans and then potentially sex traffic them and ruin children's lives. And that's happening at a rate, Rita, that it's never happened before. And I see it. I see it in Dallas. I see little kids with people that don't look like their parents all the time. And I'm not saying don't come to America, but we just can't let everybody through. These people are too vulnerable, and it's just really sad. And I hope Trump can fix it on day one of his inauguration.
Now, let's talk about far-left Senator Bernie Sanders. He's surprised a few people by supporting Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, who are heading Trump's new Department of Government Efficiency. Bernie Sanders admits that significant cost-cutting is needed after the Pentagon, with a budget of $886 billion, Alex, failed its 7th audit in a row.
Rita, obviously they are lying about where that money's going, and Bernie Sanders is all about saving money. Even Joe Rogan used to like Bernie Sanders. So Bernie Sanders isn't a bad guy. I don't think he wants the government to continue to waste money and not be accountable for what they're doing with it. So good for Bernie Sanders. I like Bernie Sanders. I hope he follows through and helps out the Department of Government Efficiency as soon as they get in there.
You're far kinder to Bernie than I am. Any socialist who's got how many homes? I think 3 at last count. And despite everything the Democrats have done to him and how they've corrupted the system to stop him being the candidate, he still plays along. He backed Joe, he backed Kamala. So, no, you are way too kind to him, Alex Stein, but that's who you are.
Well,
You're
Rita,
a kind man. Thanks for your time tonight.
Rita, I am kind, but AOC is potentially going to run for president. So now I got to like AOC too. So they're all winning me over. It's crazy. Bernie, Joe Biden, AOC, they've all made me happy in the last month.
Oh, goodness me. AOC is your secret crush, so I'm not surprised by this. Alex Stein, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Rita.